Hello NBC YouTubers, and welcome to a brand new series called Inside the Mind with me, your host Arlo White. We're going to try and dig into the psyche of some of the biggest characters in the Premier League. And what a place to start! The Etihad campus in Manchester, home of the Premier League champion City. And I'm going to be chatting to none other than their manager, Pep Guardiola. Let's see what he's got to say. Well, welcome to our first episode of Inside the Mind here on NBC Sports, and I'm delighted that our first guest is none other than Pep Guardiola. Pep, thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time today. I know this is a very, very busy period of the season, so this is valuable to get your thoughts heading into the festive fixtures. First question, how far into a game of football can you see a pattern developing when you can start to make tactical changes?
In the game. But every game you have a plan. Depends on the quality of the players you are in your team or your selection, but every player has his own quality, and especially the opponent, how they defend or how they attack. You have a plan. And after 10 minutes, you know exactly the planning works or it doesn't work. And it doesn't work because you thought, for example, the wingers close inside, so the space is outside. When after 10 minutes you realize, oh, the space is not outside, it's because the wingers, for example, are wider and the space will be inside. So this ridiculous example can show, because you knew it before a little bit, you know what must happen. And because arrived there, I don't know what's going to happen, and after discover what happened, if you didn't have the plan, it would be more difficult. That is the way.
How do you get your message onto the field to change it?
That is difficult. I would like to feel like basketball timeout, but that's not happened. That is the problem. That's why sometimes before the game say you're going to play in that way, but if just in case this kind of situation doesn't happen, you have to do another way, and after you have the half time.
So you've already prepared the players for something unexpected?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah. So I think the managers here, we move a lot, we make a lot of gestures about that, but I think it's more to take out our adrenaline or our pressure to put it out, because at the end the players don't understand too much what you are saying, you know, from your position.
Did you have to change anything about your approach to football to suit or to adapt to the Premier League at all?
Yeah,
anything?
A little bit, yeah, of course. In Germany I adapt too, but especially I always explain the same. Always you adapt for the quality of the players you have. The patrons, the biggest ones, are quite similar and don't change too much. But when you play, for example, with Messi, you adapt the quality to attack to him. When you have Lewandowski, Müller, you have to adapt, Robben, Ribéry, you have to adapt the qualities, so they have the more crosses. Then, for example, in Barcelona, didn't use too much for the quality of the players we had in the pitch. And here, for example, we have Agüero, have Gabriel, or have another players. We adapt the qualities of the players we have to make our attack better for their capacities. So, but the fundamentals are quite similar.
Was there anything in the Premier League that you hadn't seen before that you thought, I may have to change this?
Yeah, I have to adapt to defend the channels. I have to adapt to arrive in time to avoid the crosses, avoid the set pieces and stupid falls as much as possible. You learn how to handle your regeneration in the tough periods like December, January, for example. You play every 2-3 days, 4 days during 2 months. How you handle that situation, how you have to do. And of course, that's why it's fascinating move abroad in other countries to learn. But every country has his own characteristics.
How much influence does the opponent that you face have on how you approach a game of football?
Yeah, you have to know the strength of the opponent, sometimes the weakness. So you have to discover the secrets, what they want to do. Yeah, of course, it's important to know it. Most of the time we talk about a lot what we have to do. It's important to, when you are trying to make like a leading role in one game, is because you want to be, you know, you want to do as much possible as you can do. But of course you have to know the opponent, what the opponent they play, because you can lose 90 minutes, especially in the top sides, and you have to, you know, to know what they do.
If it's any consolation, the festive period is crazy for broadcasters as well. 4 games in this amount of time. NBC, we have 10 shows in 14 days, 40 games going on over this period. So we're pretty busy too, so we have to plan ahead. How far in advance do you plan over this period? You never know about injuries or what's going to happen. But in your mind, have you got starting 11s for the next 2 or 3 games over this period?
A little bit. I have to recognize a little bit. In Barcelona and Munich, it was not like this. It's the next game is the most important, and focus in the next. And here as well, but a little bit you think in the second and in the third, especially when the people come back for the injuries or that guy who played 4 games, 90 minutes, and you have next, I don't know, 6 days, 3 games. So of course you think a little bit in the next ones. You have to.
It's part of being in the Premier League, isn't it? It's part of what the fans find special and the managers and players find difficult, I guess.
Yeah, but so the people say, I prefer to be rest or holidays. I like, really, it's my 3rd season here. I'm not a lot of experience here in England, but I like to play in this kind of period because it's for the families, here in England, what I like the most is they think about the fans, a lot with the fans. And you go that days and Boxing Days, 26 or 25 or 24 or 28, on a Christmas 31, 30, or 1st or 3rd against Liverpool at home. So that is, for them, is nice. But after that, I think it's going to happen next season. In January, February has 1 week, 10 days off. That would be amazing. Be amazing.
Yeah, for everybody, including commentators.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You've experienced so much success recently. And one of the key aspects, I guess, of maintaining that is motivation. How do you motivate this bunch of players to continue to hit the standards that you require?
But it's easy, they like to play. So the problem is to maintain the consistency when one person does something that they don't like to do. You have to push them. But they love to play football. So they like to train and they want to play, because if they play better, maybe next game is going to play too. So at the end they are a little bit like amateurs, so they love to play, to compete, and that's why it's easy. So it's not a big issue.
What's your biggest challenge as a manager? What do you find most difficult about it that you have to overcome?
The most difficult is when you made the 11 players the selection drop many players that they deserve to play. That is the toughest moment in my case, in my profession. Always you try to argue the reason why, but of course they don't understand it, but they want to play, what I said before.
Lee Dixon, who I work with, who used to play for Arsenal, didn't like the hooded jardigan that you wear to start with, but now he really does like it. Where did you buy it? And did you expect everyone to be talking about it?
Oh yeah, good. I'm a fashion. And my wife has a store. She works in her own business about fashion, and I go there, and it's easy for me.
She must have sold thousands of them since you started wearing it.
No, I don't think so. If not, my wife could be retired, if he could sell this kind of amount of pieces. That is not the point. That is what it is.
Pep, listen, we appreciate your time. This has been fascinating to go inside the mind of the champion of the Premier League, Manchester City, and the manager. We wish you the very best for the rest of the season. The fans in the USA really appreciate you talking to them, and I'm sure they're going to continue to support Manchester City, and hopefully you repeat as champions for their sake.
We'll try.
Have a great Christmas,
You
and we'll
too.
see you in the new year.
All of you.
Cheers, Pep.
Thank you so much.
Much appreciated. Very much appreciated.
Hi, I'm Rebecca Lowe, studio host for NBC's coverage of the Premier League. Don't forget to hit subscribe to watch highlights all season long, and be sure to tune in for Premier League mornings on NBCSN.